Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Hello, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model weekly review for Monday the 25th of the 1st to Friday the 29th of the 1st 2021. I've written up the monthly flows because we're at the month end, so what we're going to do is stop start to it as I write them up, but anyway, here we go. These were the monthly flows for the whole of January, so the month that's just gone, trading month, and the euro dollar then is minus 81. So that means over the month, the euro dollar as an FX pair lost 81 points or pips, euro yen plus 92, euro pound minus 108, pound dollar plus 59, pound yen plus 272, dollar yen plus 154. So if we look at the actual flows, the model flows, then we've got a negative opposed driver in the yen at minus 518. So we've got front and backdoor flows during the month, and we've got the bulk of the opposing positive flows from the negative yen going into the pound at plus 439, and the dollar less so at plus 176, and we've got the euro being the negative rock at minus 97. And this is on activity of plus or minus 615, 615. So that was the monthly situation. I'm now going to write up the weekly situation, so see you in a second. Right, welcome back, you made it. This is the weekly flows I've written up here, so it's from Monday the 25th of the 1st to Friday the 29th of the 1st, just about there. Right, so let's go through them then. So euro dollar over the week, that week, minus 38 points or pips, euro yen plus 80, euro pound minus 41, pound dollar plus 27, pound yen plus 149, and dollar yen plus 87. Now, looking at the model flows, then we've got an unopposed negative driver in the yen, so we've got no backdoor flows this time, but the opposing positive flows predominantly went into the pound again at plus 217, then into the dollar plus 98, and the euro was pretty rock solid at plus 1, and this was an activity of plus or minus 316. So that's the weekly situation. We'll discuss these in a minute, but I'm going to write up the dailies, so don't go away. See you in a minute. Right, welcome back. I've written the daily flows up so we can get started. So Monday the 25th, the first day of the week, then we had the negative unopposed driver in the euro, so no backdoor flows. We've got the opposing positive flows going into the yen at plus 58, into the dollar plus 34, and the pound staying the positive rock at plus 2, and that was an activity of plus or minus 94. We'll rattle through these and then we'll talk about them. Tuesday then, more balanced flows. We've got the pound acting as the opposed positive driver at plus 135, so we've got front and backdoor flows on Tuesday, and the bulk of the opposing negative flows are coming out of the dollar at minus 96, and then the yen at minus 44. That was an activity of plus or minus 140. So Wednesday then, we've got more extreme flows again. So we've got the dollar acting as the unopposed positive driver at plus 151. So we've got no backdoor flows again, but we've got the bulk of the what is that? Yen. That's Wednesday. Let's have a look. Wednesday. I've not written that. So Wednesday. Where is it? Minus 72. I did write it. It's formed part of the bracket, right? So minus 72. So the yen the yen was soaking up the bulk of the opposing negative flows at -72. Euro next at -43, pound next at -36, and that was an activity of plus or minus 151. And Thursday then we've got the pound acting as the positive opposed driver at plus 100. Front and back door flows mainly coming out of the yen at -83. Next the dollar at -37. Right, finally then Friday the 29th, we've got the yen in an extreme position acting as the unopposed negative driver. So no backdoor flows again this time. The bulk of the flows going into the euro at plus 113. Next into the dollar at plus 50, and the pound being belligerent at plus 10 as the positive rock. And that was an activity of plus or minus 173. So right, so let's make some sense of it. So if we go back and remind ourselves what happened over the month then, so the monthly flows which we did originally and we rubbed off, then we've got the yen acting as the negative opposed driver at -518. So the yen has been very weak over January, okay, in basic terms, and the pound has soaked up the bulk of those flows at plus 439 as a positive secondary driver. So over the month then, yen weakness with the pound sucking them in basically, and the dollar and the euro not fairly static. Right, so then over the week, which we've rubbed off as well. Let's do a bit of shuffling here. It's all very high tech, I know. Right, so over the week we've got the yen has been the unopposed negative driver. So over the month the yen was the opposed negative driver, and over the week it's the unopposed negative driver, which is a more extreme position in modelling, and that was at -316. And the pound again sucking up the bulk of the positive opposing flows, with the dollar next and the euro staying fairly static. So that's the picture there. And then on an individual daily basis, this is what's been happening. So we've had yen weakness over the month and the week, and now we've got these. And on an intraday basis during the week, we've obviously got swings around. And if you remember, this week's been quite a big week. We've had the Fed on Wednesday, and we've had the sort of the end, which was basically the end apart from next week with the GBP, a big series of rates announcements. So I think Thursday next week is the last one of this cycle where the GBP it gets its rate announcements. So we've had an equity sell-off, and interestingly, what's happened to the yen transmission? Well, the yen transmission has been basically subverted, if you like. Normally, when you get an equity sell-off, you get flows into the yen, and you get a rise in the yen complex. But clearly, this hasn't happened. We've got a distortion, a sort of an asymmetric response, if you like, in the market, which is interesting. And if you look at the VIX, the VIX has been, which is a measure of volatility for the S&P 500 contract. Then the VIX has spiked off the back of equity disturbance, and yet the yen has been sold off relentlessly and has ended the week at the negative unopposed driver. Now we know if something's a negative unopposed driver, particularly on a weekly, then that's either the start of a further ramp down, or it's the floor. Now this is probably fairly clear to us that this isn't the start of a further ramp down, or it's unlikely to be in the yen. This looks like the end game for yen weakness. So the likelihood, plus if you factor in the VIX spike, the market is trying to protect itself for future volatility. So if you look at the flows, you can see that that we've got the yen acting as the negative unopposed driver on the weekly, and over the month it's been basically sold off. The yen is very likely to bounce next week, so we're going to get flows into the yen complex, and then so these flows have got to go out of somewhere. The pound has been getting all the benefits so far, as we know, because we've been selling the pound, and it's been a tough old job. But next week should turn this around, because the main candidate for sucking out these opposing negative flows will be the GBP complex, in our opinion. So that's where we're at. What else? Gold had a good old spike yesterday and then retraced. We thought that gold was a goer. I mentioned it in the daily briefing. Now we're not going to go too much about next week, because next week is the Monday daily briefing. But we're going to get the modelled data flows for this week out today as well, so we're going to do that video shortly, and they're very important to making sense of the overall picture. So I hope this was useful. See you for one of those videos soon. Thank you very much.